Watson and I'm studying environmental science at Sheffield Hallam University, and I've just completed my first year. And I think it's our responsibility to live more sustainably, because at the end of the day, the planet is suffering by our actions, and I therefore think it's our time to make a difference.
Originally from Norwich, my name's Sewell, and I am also studying environmental science, and personally believe that if we do not take climate change seriously, it could be fatal.
Connolly, and I'm from Luton, Bedfordshire. I'm a first year environmental science student, and I believe it is our job to control our carbon footprint to preserve our and the next generation's futures.
And finally, I'm Charlie Flowers, originally from Derbyshire, finishing my first year of environmental conservation. Similar to the views of my peers, I believe that there should be an adopted approach to a more sustainable lifestyle.
So together we are Amazon Prime and have designed a massive multimedia student framework in order to promote sustainable living and to lower our carbon footprints through the idea of multimedia and the way students use it today.
Our multimedia framework, it will consist of posters, videos, animations that we will proceed to put over social networking sites such as Twitter and Facebook. We will also try and incorporate it into local communities, so around Sainsbury's, where students will use regularly, and in the university. So like we use screensavers such as this, which students use to revise and do their own work, and if we can try and incorporate it into them all over the campus, then students will be, well, they will see this regularly, and it will begin to, I suppose, like, run around in their minds more.
Hallam currently has 37,000 students currently studying at the university. This is a large target audience for our campaign, which will generate a large local impact.
There are 5 areas, including recycling, washing, cooking, appliances and lighting, and currently all of these areas are examples of how we're living unsustainably. For example, in terms of lighting, currently in a lot of the halls they're not automatic sensored lighting, and as students are always on the go, having different body clocks, we're all doing different things at the same time. Lights can just be left on for 24 hours at a time, which is a massive waste because they're not needed to be on for that long. So if we had sensored lights, or if people were aware and to actually stop before they leave the house, look, the lights are still on, this could reduce energy production in this area. In terms of washing, a lot of the time students don't actually think and stop with, like, we don't have a full load here, why am I putting this in the wash? So actually stopping again and thinking about what you're doing, this will create more awareness and help lower our carbon footprints. In terms of electrical appliances, as a student myself, it's so easy just to leave your laptop plugged in and being charged for an endless amount of time, even though it's fully charged. So again, this is extra energy being wasted just by simple awareness, and again thinking about what you're doing could stop and help reduce individual carbon footprints, which would have a big cumulative impact. In terms of recycling, in many of the halls there's not actually segregated bins. There's just like one bin and maybe another bin for cardboard, where this is not really good enough because there's so many more of these materials like glass, plastics that we're just throwing away into general waste, which again is not sustainable living. And finally, in terms of cooking, for example, as a group there's 4 of us, and we on average we live with about 5 other people, so that's 20 people cooking separately, and again we know fine well if we cook together that would again reduce energy. So by covering these 5 different areas and making awareness of how unsustainable we are living amongst these, we could help reduce unsustainable living and lower our carbon footprints.
Our campaign different to other campaigns? Well, our campaign makes energy savings tangible and relevant to students. We do this by comparing energy savings to the commodities that students use every day, such as milk or tea or a crate of beer. So we can say, you save this much energy this month, and that's entry to your favourite club, or a crate of beer or something. And you wouldn't just pour away a crate of beer down the sink to watch the students waste energy. They wouldn't do if they knew how much their savings would amount to.
We as a team want to open up students' eyes as to how easy it is for them to live much more sustainably, and therefore save more money that they can better spent elsewhere.
To conclude, we feel that our ideas really could make such a difference in the future. Sheffield is such a big place, therefore the impacts could be huge and sustainable living could be achieved on a massive local scale.